Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phay, and welcome to the channel. If you're like me and you like the game Era, all right, there's a whole bunch more that comes with this game. Now, the core game is going to come with 4 Era decks, and those 2 decks can be, played against each other in a variety of ways, and it adds a lot of variety to the game. But however, there's 11 more decks that are just going to totally enhance your Era gaming experience. All right. Now, every deck's going to play entirely different, and they're just really unique in how they play, and they're from all eras of time. Okay. So, what I would like to do in this series is I actually want to go down and we're going to open up each one of these decks. We're going to lay out the cards and we're going to see how the cards are going to interact with each other and how you're going to potentially be able to play those decks. All right. So I'll tell you what, let's go down to the table. Let's open up a deck and let's see how it plays. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to look at the Samurai Era deck. All right, another really cool and interesting theme here. Okay, so first thing is, let's take a look at those conflict cards. We have the Rival Emperor. Now, the Rival Emperor cards, they got 3 of them. It's going to cost 1 to cast, a little harder to take out, but it's going to give them 2 sword and shields. It's also going to give them an A key, okay? So you're basically giving them that key. Now, the Mongols is going to give them a sword and shield and 2 skulls, cost 2 to get out, and they have 3 of those in their deck. They're a 3, so it's a little easier to take them guys down, but they're going to be able to do some damage there because you got several things over here that the Mongols are going to come after and fight. And then you have your feudal armies. The feudal armies, they have 4 of those, cost 2 to cast. These guys are really, really hard to take down. Okay, but they're going to have the sword and shields, and they're going to get 2 additional ones if they can, in fact, get an A key out. So, as you can see, they can do a ton of damage, and every one of your cards in this deck can actually be taken out. There's not a single one of these cards in this deck that are safe from combat except for your resource cards. Now, if we take a look at your resource cards, okay, we have 2 of each one of these. The Fishing Inlets is going to give you the harvest icon, okay, which is going to be nice for getting your cards during the draw phase, and you're going to have your build icon, so you can actually try to get these cards out faster. But the thing is one of the things you're going to notice about this game is, or this deck, these cards are really cheap to get out, except for the Gunpowder Army, but we'll get to them here in a little bit. Now, looking at your deck, what do we have? We have the Himaji Castle. I'm sure I said that totally wrong. It is a unique card, and they can take it down, but it takes 8 points of damage to take it down. So they're going to need this sucker unlocked, okay, or a couple of these feudal armies in play in order to do it. But they can take it down. But this A key, what it's going to do for them, or you, is it's going to allow you to be able to unlock the Emperor's Flourish ability. Now, the Emperor is unique, okay? He does have 5 health, which isn't too bad. He's cheap to get out for 2, but once you get that A key out, you can flourish him for 1 card now. So he's really super cheap to flourish. Blah. And every time you flourish him, you're just going to increase by 1 point on how hard it is going to take him down. And there's 10 of them in there, so you can really pump him up. Now he's going to get you 2 progress tokens every round. Okay, so this deck, you can actually gain some pretty decent progress tokens if you can keep everything going. Now, come over here. We have your peasant. Your peasant, it costs 1 to get her out. There's 6 of these cards. You can flourish the peasant. Every flourish is going to give you 2 additional health on him, so it's going to go from 3 to 5, etc. But you're going to get the build icon. You're also going to get the harvest. But you can actually send the peasants in for combat if you need to, because you may need them to come after any one of these 3 over here, because there is no skulls. It is only nothing but swords and shields to take out all of these conflict cards. Now, your Gunpowder Army, there's 12 to get them out. There's 3 of these cards in your deck. They're really hard to take down, okay? But what they're going to do is they're going to prevent your opponent from using an A key, okay? But it's going to give you 2 more progress tokens. So if you get an Emperor out and the Gunpowder Army out, that's 4 progress tokens you get in every round. But like I said, he's expensive to get out, okay? So good luck. Now, when we look over here, we got your Samurai. Now, your Samurai is going to get you a couple more swords and shields. He's a 5 to take him down. You have 6 of them in your deck. He's 5 to cast, and he's going to prevent 1 of those swords and shields from one of your cards as well, which is actually going to be really good. The Geisha, super cheap to get her out, but she's really easy to take down because she's a 0 cost. There's 5 of them, but she's going to get you that progress token if you can keep her alive at the beginning of every round. You got your palace guards, going to give you a vision icon because, well, they're always keeping watch over everything that's going on. So you might want to use him to store a couple geishas, or if you want to put multiple, however you want to do it. I would probably flourish some peasants, or definitely, maybe the emperor, if you have to, or, because you can't build them, but you need to later. However you want to do it. These vision icons, I play those so many different ways. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I tuck cards you would never think. I've used them to tuck these zero casting cards because I don't want them out this turn, but I want them out next turn for one reason or another. I know I can take out something over here that's because they're gonna use that to, say, potentially take out her. But then again, if I was to say take out one of those so they don't have them in play, now I can play my geisha. Yeah, it's using these vision icons. It's really important, and there's a lot of strategy involved. But then again, like I said, the palace guard also gets you that sword and shield to help take everything out. And you just flat have the ninja, which is 5 of them in your deck. He's free to get out. He's 0. It's going to get you 2 sword and shields. These are just your expendable guys because, wow, they can get murdered easily. But there you go. But they're going to come out here and they're just going to go after everything. Really interesting the way all this plays out. So as you can see, you can get a lot of progress tokens in this deck pretty fast if you play it correctly. But you got to be careful of all of the combat that's going to be coming your way, and you got to keep that neutralized. Don't let this stuff build up. Okay. But anyways, there you go. Really fun. I love the theming of this deck. This deck is really cool. I like the way it's laid out. But there you go. That is the Samurai Era deck. Definitely have fun playing this one. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is just one of the decks for Era. And I tell you, man, each deck, like I said, they play totally different. So really knowing and understanding your deck and how it plays is a real big key on how you're actually going to win this game. And I love how there's every deck can just play so different. So the interactions between each and every deck is just going to be astronomically different. So the replay value in this, especially when you have a lot more decks, is absolutely huge. Super fantastic. I love the way this game is set up. Well, thank you once again for joining me today. As always, I please ask you to like these videos on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, and even on X. And please leave me a comment on any one of those platforms. I'll get to those comments just as soon as I can. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the videos I provide here, if you haven't done so already, I humbly ask you click on the subscription button and also click on that bell and be notified when I drop new videos. And if you like the videos that I provide for you here, I also do post videos over on the Discriminating Gamers channel. We'll do some unboxing, some reviews, and some playthroughs over there. I'll leave a link to Cody's channel down in the details below. But as always, thank you for watching.